This is IBM Museum. I am finally prepared to give another try at installing OS2 2.0. I went through some flailings with a SCSI drive that would not boot just any operating system at all. And I've gone through and I've done some preliminary work to arrive at the hard drive I'm going to use for this installation. And it is a Maxtor 540 megabyte drive. And this is factory set to SCSI ID 6, which is ideal for this IBM SCSI subsystem of having the Tribble adapter in here on this PS2 Model 25SX. And I do have the drive mounted, as it were, upside down from this aspect, even though once the tower is set up, the drive will be on effectively on its side. But I've done that for the reason of this hard drive cage on the 60 and 65SX and Model 80 cases is that the SCSI drive connections, even the CD-ROM drive connections, this little nub is typically up as far as the points towards the top of the drive. And I want, if I put any SCSI CD-ROM or something else in here, I want that cable connection to be in the right orientation for that. And, you know, it really doesn't matter to the drive anyway. But I'm just trying to think ahead a little bit. And of course, since the hard drive is the only thing on the SCSI bus, and these IBM SCSI adapters, you know, this is SCSI ID 7. That's why you're saying the SCSI ID to 6 for that primary hard drive. And normally there's a clip on this bay adapter as well that, since it's off center for this, it's not going to be a thing with this system. And I'll go with the middle connection for the power, leaving again that spare in connector in case we have a SCSI CD-ROM that's put on the system later on. And finishing my thought, I've got this on the end of the cable because this drive is terminated, and we just don't want that end of that cable hanging loose and getting signal reflections off of the end of it in operation. So we are doing real good for having all the drive mounted in there. I took the sled off the bottom of the drive and just took the sled off, and then so I could use the screws to put that in that bay adapter. So I'm loading that installation diskette of the set. And of course, I went through and I started this early because the count of this system RAM is, especially that second 8 megabyte, it takes its time. But hopefully we'll only have to go through that just once or twice as we go through and the OS2 installation process. And I have that hard drive. On a previous video, I went through and even did the whole MS-DOS setup just to get that on the drive and make sure it boots to that drive and there's no issues otherwise. And of course, with the OS2 installation here, we're going to overwrite that MS-DOS setup. And that's no worry at all. It served its function. All I wanted to make sure was that drive was able to function correctly. I didn't want any further surprises or roadblocks coming up in this OS2 installation. Should have even started that earlier than I did. Okay, and the hard drive is spinning up at the end of that memory count, and that's typically for a more advanced SCSI drive that it receives a power on from the controller to tell it, hey, I'm done initializing. Let's get you started up, spun up. And I will go through and have the keyboard in my lap and just keep it so I rotate around again to exchange diskettes. In fact, I'm going to go through and pull out this entire stack. Okay. So, and I should have... Okay, so we eject the installation diskette. Tells us to put in diskette 1. Press enter. Okay, and keep these roughly in order. Okay. Our nice little splash screen again. Okay. Press enter to continue. Okay. It guides us through tells us how to operate the keyboard. to change these selections. And we're going to press enter again. Okay, accept the drive and insert diskette 2. Okay, and we want to format the partition because we want to get rid of that MS-DOS. And I hemmed and hawed on that previous video. I don't want to select the high performance file system. OS2 is known for that, but I want to format it as FAT, file allocation table file system. And I'm doing that to make it visible from DOS. And it's just warning us, hey, we've got that MS-DOS 6.21 installation on there. We're fine with that. We can press enter to say wipe it away. We don't care. And there will be portions of this. We went through this before, and I didn't know how long it was going to last. But I can pause sections of this as we go through this installation just to get a little bit more compact video. Okay, just a brief unpause as it starts copying files. And I will unpause, or I will pause and then unpause as we get most of the files copied over. Okay, and we went all the way through up to diskette 5, and then it told us to put in the installation diskette again. And this is the process right before it goes through to reboot to that hard drive. Okay. Remove the diskette from the drive. And then press the enter key. Moment of truth. Single beep, and at least we did not get dropped into ROM Basic. Okay. And it's booting from that hard drive. C device is not functioning. I guess it helps if I use the right mouse to select what I'm supposed to select. Or I could just press the enter key. It was highlighted for that OK button. And so where does this take us? Are we just left with OS2 on the screen? I don't hear anything from the hard drive. I'm just going to try and do a Control-Delete, which doesn't seem like it has an effect. We will go through a long memory count again. And I'll have to read that error to see if there's any way of continuing. And is it the hard drive still, or is it that maybe it's that treble SCSI adapter? And I kind of wonder anyway, I've been thinking more and more about if I need to locate an XGA adapter and whether it's going to be easier just to go through that through the installation process with that adapter, or whether that can be added later on successfully. And probably both cases. But it's which might be easier. But I want to go through and get OS2 2.0 booting no matter what display adapter I have. We have to get through that process. So I might have to select I might have to pull out another treble adapter. I know I have some other SCSI A adapters here, but I'm wanting to get back to what the 65SX would have been coming out of the factory with that treble adapter, that SCSI A adapter, and not something else. Okay, so the hard drive spun up at the end of the memory count. We're going to have a second go at things. I don't think it's the hard drive. I think it might be that treble SCSI adapter. Although I don't think the treble was giving errors to that other hard drive either, because we were able to boot some of the drives. 21 minutes of video so far. I do hear the hard drive. A little bit. And I'm not hearing any access from the drive now. And I don't even think I'm going to pause the video. I'm not wanting to go through and waste a bunch more time myself just to see if this thing comes around. And this will be another failed attempt at loading OS2 2.1. I have to go on to the next steps of swapping out other parts to see if I can get successful with installing OS2 2.0. So if you enjoy content like this and seeing me just go around in circles and things not work, click on that like button, and there'll be other times that I will go through and fail to do what I intend on video. And subscribe to my channel if you want to see all those failures together and get notified of those failed processes. And that is all I have for now. This is IBM Museum. Thank you.